What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Let's Talk Live podcast. It is awesome times here. The best damn podcast ever. What's
Great.
going on, man? How are you, Primo?
What's up, buddy? How's it going?
I'm well. How are things?
It is going good. Even though we had a very cold snap here, I want you to say everything's going to warm up. I got a nice weekend planned. Everything's going to be grand, so I'm looking forward to it.
Everything's going to warm up. And you know what? I think I have fixed my Wi-Fi problems. So nice. I took the advice of one of our viewers, and I went out and actually bought like a 50-foot hard line, and we're wired direct in. So
yeah, I hope they dial in tonight and they have some comments to say so we can officially make the kind of thank yous that we need to for that. So
we have an amazing show this evening. We're going to support the Mission 22 Foundation, and we are going to start this off, I think, with an intro video. And when we do that, we're going to bring in our guest, Shannon Taylor, and I'm going to let Primo introduce her when we get going here.
Yeah, we wanted to give it to Mission 22. It's a veteran charity that helps veterans. So one thing, it's very hard for us not being in it to really kind of explain it. So they were gracious enough to give us a video today to pre-play for you so you guys can get an idea of PTSD and what it's all about. And that's the thing is this something it touched me greatly. So I hope it does the same for you guys. So if you want to, Brian, hit it up.
Yep.
Buddy.
We're going to do it.
1, 2, 3.
That's a fantastic video, man.
Very touching.
So let's do this. We're going to bring in our guest, Shannon Taylor. How are you?
Welcome.
Welcome. Yes. Go ahead.
Shannon Taylor, the Ambassador Program Director for Mission 22, and you oversee 3,800 ambassadors nationwide, right?
Roughly, yes.
Awesome.
Nationwide, we do have some also based in Japan.
Oh, wow. When did that start? How long has that been going?
They've been around. He's been an ambassador for us for a couple of years now, and has a really great following out there. And he's on an active duty installation as well, which is super helpful for those folks.
I never even knew that. Like, yeah. So you're actually getting out. I mean, you're out in the places where all these soldiers are still right now, when they're active and doing. Oh man, I'm glad I had you on. This is stuff like. With full disclosure, I've known Shannon for a little bit. We don't get to talk all the time. She lives some hours away from me. But yeah, it's funny. Every time I talk to you, there's some other great story that Mission 22 brings to the table that just, I know it really moves me. So first question tonight, and I have to say that is the coolest office I've ever seen.
Well, thank you.
I think you're trying to outdo us here. What is
this was purely coincidental.
And that's your office. This is your daily area where you sit, right?
This is where I sit all day long. Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, I got to know this thing up here at the top left here. This is the Jeep front end of a Jeep.
It is.
What is that is awesome. I need to set something like that up here.
Yeah.
What is there a story behind this Jeep thing, or is this like
There is. It's kind of a funny one. I bought my Jeep late 2017. It was one of the very first 2018s to come off the line,
Nice.
and it had a lot of chrome accents on it that I knew I just didn't want. So when I took them off, I asked my husband to do something cool with it for me. So he bought some LED lights and managed to be able to keep the running lights there, and
Nice.
so we hung it up, and it looks pretty
So
cool.
it's
Keeps
all
me entertained.
functional.
I love it.
Telling you, there's more, but I am all for, and you know what, guy, you know, I'm a car guy.
Mhm.
I'm all for any automotive decor. So the Jeep is still alive. It looks great.
Absolutely.
It's fully
Yep.
functioning. So
Yep.
I think we had a picture of us together, I think, at one of the events with next to the Jeep. So I didn't want to think the Jeep has run into any
Oh, no.
problems.
Nope.
So
Still
I
going.
would have had
Yep.
to have worn that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think
So
the last time
otherwise,
we actually saw each other was at breakfast.
yes, and we just had the
Yeah.
reminder for that. That's kind of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been too long. Let me just say it like
It
that.
has. I
So
agree.
now you're in the New Hampshire area. How's the weather going up
I
there?
am.
Is it good?
The weather's been crazy. I don't know if you guys have had it, but we've had some serious wind, and we had,
Yeah.
had a warm up and then had a real cold snap, and it's
hmm
been a crazy year.
Yeah, it has been. We started, we got nice and warm. We got in the
Mhm.
60s, then dropped to like 20 the other night. So I'm
Yeah.
sitting here trying to figure out how to heat the house because you start shift. That's the thing is I figured this out. We have what's called faux spring, and it's
Mhm.
kind of like that first thing of kind of pull you into that. I'm ready to be spring, and then it just pulls it out from under you and goes, did you put the ACs in? Because I'm ready for you. But yeah, I think
sure.
I'm hopefully you guys don't have it as bad as we do. So, but yeah, so we're going to Mission 22 tonight. And the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to ask you what is Mission 22, if you can explain it, and what are the goals of your organization?
Well, Mission 22 started in 2012, 2013. Started under the name of Elder Heart Incorporated, and it was came about when Magnus Johnson, who is one of the founders of it, lost someone extremely close to him after serving 3 combat tours himself.
Oh,
And he said to himself, how do we expect civilians to know what this is if I myself didn't even know what was going on? So started as very large scale public memorials. In that picture there, you see one of them, which is actually getting ready to be fully unveiled in its
Wow.
permanent home in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. That's called our War at Home Memorial.
Amazing.
Each of those silhouettes is someone who unfortunately lost their own battle. Um, it's emotional.
Mhm.
very
um,
much so. Yeah.
but it's, I mean, we started partnering with others for treatment plans for veterans after that. And through an awful lot of research, we've now recently created our own program that has had some great success. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, that's one thing. My father was in the Vietnam War. Uh,
Mhm.
he actually he wasn't drafted. He enlisted.
Mhm.
When the World War was happening, he enlisted for it. And that's the thing is he went off to war. And the thing is I didn't know a time when my dad didn't have PTSD. So to me, it was kind of like a foreign concept, and
Mhm.
we didn't even figure it out until well after time. You know what I mean? That something might be it. And I didn't really get introduced to Mission 22 until probably, I mean, it was what, 2019, 2018, something like that.
That's
So,
about when we met.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it was one of those things of saying like there was a lot of stuff I didn't know, and I had friends.
Mhm.
I still have friends that have it, and they try to explain the stuff to you, and you try to get into it. But I've learned more from Mission 22 than in any other organization that has tried to teach me stuff. And that thing is, I'm trying to absorb the information, and it becomes something because it's so different than what you kind of expect. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
hard to explain it to people. So
It is.
I wanted to ask too, how did you come to Mission 22? What brought you to this thing? How long have you been doing it? How did this end up?
Yeah, I've been with Mission 22 since gosh, I want to say it was late 2018, early 2019.
Mhm.
Um, and I stumbled across it on social media. Had a friend of mine, David Wood, which you actually know.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. He'll love that he just got a shout out, by the way. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a superstar.
Yep.
But veterans have always been near and dear to my heart. I mean, I come from a family that has a long line of veterans. I have a lot of friends that were veterans. And I had someone that I'm going to choke up now, who was extremely close to me in college. I think his family would be okay if I mentioned his name. His name was Jim Hollinger. Nice. And his birthday's actually April 2nd. He would have been 49 years old. Yep. And he unfortunately lost his battle in 2006. Yep. And I carried that pretty hard. And I felt like I at that point, I knew that I had to do more. I knew that I needed to do more to honor him.
Yeah. So it's been kind of a driving force at that point. Like once you knew
it has, you
could take action on this. And at least if one person, you know, I couldn't do for one person, now I'm going to empower myself to help others. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and this is going to bring something up, but I'm going to bring it up. We're going to get back to that because it's something that I think a lot of people are going to build up that question about how they can help. And that's one thing we will be talking about in a second, but I do want to ask, so Mission 22, I know has a program that it breaks down. So there's all these people, and the way that Mission 22 does it is they put veterans through a type of program. Can you kind of explain what the program is like? And I also want to know, like, how you get to take advantage of that.
Yep. There's a couple different programs that we offer. Actually, the one that you're looking at here is Recovery and Resiliency. And there's a couple different ways that you can go about that. Obviously, applying online is how all of our programs are done. But this Recovery and Resiliency has two main aspects to it. One is a 12-month long program that is offered to veterans of combat that have experienced combat only. And then we do offer a 6-month program as well for veterans of all other backgrounds. Because as we know that PTS isn't just experienced by combat veterans. There are other, experiences and things that happen during their time of duty that, obviously can bring those PTS.
Yeah. PTS and obviously, what is it? Traumatic brain injury.
Yep. And we also have a spouses program, which is also 6 months as well, because it's not just the veteran that struggles with this as well. If they're married and have a family, the family endures quite a bit as well. Right. So we have designed these programs to help, the veterans, their families, and their communities all as one.
Shannon, I love the spirit of when I look through this website, and it's a lot of the programs that it looks very similar to a lot of the programs that I did in elementary school. Was a lot of team building and family exercises. And I think that's really fantastic. Could you speak a little bit more on some of the programs that you do offer, maybe some of the retreats or things that you use to build spirit and help with managing PTSD?
I mean, one of our programs is our equine therapy program. Currently, it is only housed in Sisters, Oregon. It's for children of veterans, and that does include children of veterans that could have been, parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents. And that the children go to the equine facility. They learn how to ride the horse. They learn how to care for the horse in every way, shape, or form, from feeding to grooming, riding, and, learning how to, build that partnership with the horse, which also then helps them develop confidence, which is super helpful for those young children.
That's great.
Yeah. And then it's our gym portions. We do have some gym sponsorships that we offer as well. They're 3-month sponsorships in hardship cases. And they are, we do like to see people try to, join something that would be like a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or a CrossFit, where it's very community based, rather than a one-on-one.
I would think that would be hugely helpful.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely. I mean, busy body certainly helps to keep a quiet mind.
Right.
Now that community mindset, I found that's one of the biggest thing is that I think one of the things is, and I think one of the things I hear constantly is that, once you get back into this world, that's regular world that, these other people have, when you were in that world is high stress, high strain, 24/7. And then you come back to this world and it's almost like things are boring. It's like
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say, necessarily all, high stress, this or that, but it's when you're in that active duty, unit,
Yeah.
you know exactly what your mission is and you know exactly what your purpose is.
Right.
So as soon as you come back to civilian life, you're then standing there saying, now what? Now what do I do? Because you had that community, you had that unit, you had those people that you were with 24/7, 365, and all of a sudden now you're back, your unit has all, dissolved if you all left at the same time. And then it's that what now? And that's what we're trying to help,
And I've actually heard people
refocus that community base for them.
And I've heard people that suffer from it actually say exactly what you just said was, I come back, everything else was instruction, and now I'm here. And it's like, what do I do? It's just it just goes to the idea of understanding the thought process that goes into what a person with PTSD is thinking in their head, because it's almost like is it the word that it's a process that they kind of get in a rhythm, and it's the big trick is kind of getting them out of the rhythm, or is it something deeper?
I mean, it's all a journey.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is, and it's so individual.
Yeah,
and that's why it's our programs are very open to that, to being able to individualize it for people. It's one size doesn't fit all.
Exactly. Yeah.
It really doesn't. What one person experiences may not affect someone else.
Yeah. And that's one thing, because I read this on your website too, and it kind of worried me. Is I saw that we were talking about the stigmas associated with PTSD and TBI. And that's something, and I don't think the world understands it, because we see PTSD, we immediately want to veteran, somebody who risked their lives for our nation. We want to go in and try to help this person. You explain to everybody what that stigma is, and that don't know.
I mean, from so many of my friends that I know that experience this, the one word that they have all spoken to me about it is weak.
Okay.
And I think that's the biggest stigma. They feel weak if they're asking for help. And that's just simply not, it's just simply not the way it is. I understand where they're coming from. But that's one thing that we really want to try and, get rid of, is that stigma that it takes a lot more strength to ask for help.
Right. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Shannon, what are some of the things that you do to try to kind of break down that barrier and get vets to more open up to this reception to get help?
It's on the ambassador side of it. For us, it's the awareness. It's educating the community. It's helping them, understand the programs that we offer. A lot of times we may be talking to people at our event booths that we have no idea that they are a veteran, and they may desperately need our information and we don't know it.
Right.
So I think the awareness piece and talking to people about the programs that we offer is probably the biggest way to help people understand that it's not a weakness. It's a great strength to ask for that help that they may need.
One thing that I find it, and this is amazing, and this is something I've only experienced having that Mission 22 badge on my car, because I obviously have one. It's one of those things of, you bring it up to people and there are veterans that see it and they immediately have a connection to it. They immediately look at it, know what it's about. And the idea that it's almost like the stigma disappears, because now they want to talk about it. They want to talk about their friends, the people that have gone through it. And like you were saying, some of these stories are sad, but the thing that gets me about Mission 22 is how many stories we've heard that are victories. That are
absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Things have gone right. And it really does harken me back to the time I have one friend that has very bad PTSD. And he tries to keep as busy as possible. That was his thing. And one thing that he was telling us was, he goes, look, I'm not a dangerous person. And that kind of, you don't think about it until he says it. And then I say, when he's very open about saying, I have PTSD. And the second he says it, people, they take a step back and kind of go, is this person, I want to say, dangerous?
Yeah, I can.
You felt that enough to say it. I mean, what could you say to a person like that, or these people that are interacting with people with PTSD?
I mean, you're walking around every day, all day long, grocery stores, malls, car dealerships. I mean, wherever. Probably surrounded by more people than you could ever know that may be suffering from, PTS from any aspect of life. It doesn't have to be just, from a military experience. And they're no different than you or I. Yes, they do have a struggle, but that doesn't make them any different than you or I.
Right. And that's the thing is because I had lived with it in my family. I never thought to think why would you ever think it was dangerous? It didn't make any sense.
Yeah. I think media has a lot to do with that, unfortunately.
Movies.
Because a lot of the stories that we hear on the news or this or that was, a veteran losing their life or taking someone else's life, and then they throw in the PTSD bit,
right?
And
that
part really, it really is, and that really upsets me because it's not the norm.
Right.
It's really
it's almost like sometimes our media, and I mean, this has been documented, I think, well through the years. The media almost shames our veterans, and it's in a sense, it is very shameful because, again, they go off, they serve our country, they give up their time here, and I always feel like they come back and they don't get enough, and that's why I was very excited to hear about this organization through Primo, and know that he's been doing these Mission 22 rallies to spread the awareness of this. And again, I've been really fascinated by this, and just to welcome you come on here, it's been fantastic in learning all about this. So we want to spread the good word. We want to get people involved to help out with our vets, because again, they don't get enough. They never get enough.
The truth is, and this is what I say about this, when you deal with anything in your world, the truth is it's all about education, and there's no education class for this. People are coming back. They're going back to their families. Their families don't know what to look for. They've never been trained what to look for. None of us knew what to do, what to say. And the thing is, and I hate to say this, a lot of times we say the worst possible thing. A lot of times people, hey, you having this problem? Just muscle your way through it. And that is it's the worst thing you can say, because it's throwing their feelings out the window. And that's the thing is I think that a lot of people effectively do the general consensus of the population, for the most part, does more harm than good when it comes to this stuff, because you have the movies, you have social media, you have these places where people should be connected and they're connected less. And that's what these guys need, is they need that connection, that camaraderie. And you live in a world that supposedly is connected, but it's not connected at all. So,
and it's all about education.
Oh yeah, exactly. If these guys, if you're interested and looking, and the thing is I would say, even if you don't have somebody that suffers from PTSD, go to get something and learn. Is there a place, or is there some place where somebody who has no knowledge of the stuff can go to learn to understand PTSD? Is there any
absolutely. I mean, we have an awful lot of resources on our website. We're getting ready to launch our brand new website.
Nice. Cool.
Should be just a couple weeks, whole brand new design. I'm very, very excited for it.
I am too.
But we, on our current website, you can see that we do have a plethora of resources and information for people to, learn more about Mission 22, learn more about the programs that we offer, learn about partnered programs. I mean, we've got information about some other programs, Boulder Crest, the Travis Mills Foundation. So there's really, endless opportunities on our website to learn about it. But yeah, I mean, the VA also has good resources for, PTS information as well.
That's awesome. So here's, I bring it up like this then. Let's say somebody has a friend that has, or they believe has PTSD, are there any sort of signs or things that they should look at? And is there something that they can say, you know what, now this is what I got to take action on? Is there sort of, can I take this person and go, we need to have an intervention or something? Is there anything they can do?
Yeah, I mean, it again, that's so individualized. It's really hard, to put a box around it, because there may be so many people out there that, you never see a sign. You never notice anything out of the ordinary. You never notice anything, that may be a red flag.
Right.
But you may also see those where they start to, isolate themselves or start to pull away from their families, or anger issues or substance abuse and things like that. So it really does, depend on the individual as to what signs or, symptoms, I use that word very loosely, that you do see.
So if you start to see connections like that, so would you want to speak with a medical professional and say, hey, I'm trying to figure out what this is, and maybe it may not be PTSD, maybe it just be some other problem that they're going through, or a rough patch in their life.
It very could be, yeah.
Do you want to take that one, Brian?
Yes. So we have a comment from Roar of the Tiger. He is a combat veteran that is watching this evening. So thank you, sir. I must salute you. Thank you for your service. He says,
love
if I may,
P40.
He says, yes. He says, if I may, every combat veteran wants to be, quote, welcome home. Unfortunately,
Absolutely.
the treatments for trauma is becoming universal. Survivors of sexual molestation and rape also benefit from group therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He says, pick 100 veterans. Everyone may act out in a different way.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And that's
Thank
what
you,
I was
Roar.
saying. I'm
Appreciate
glad that he made that comment as well, because it's what one person does or says, you may not see in another person.
Right.
They may be experiencing two very similar things.
And one thing that I was saying before, before one of the shows, and I was talking to Brian about it, and I brought it up, so which is great to have you on, is that with Mission 22, I've actually seen a lot of these other programs and such stuff, and this is not to knock anybody else, obviously.
Nope, absolutely not.
When I go to this stuff, I hardly ever see, I mean, most of the times we're hearing bad news all the time. And when it comes to Mission 22, it's one of the few times that I've actually heard not only good stories, but I hear people who've told me they've been through the program and said, this has put me at ease, which I thought that was the line that I kept hearing over and over. This put me at ease. And I was like, wow, that is very telling of, what this goes through. Do you have any success stories that you can kind of share because I think the beauty of Mission 22 is it being positive.
Yeah, it is. I will, I have quite a few friends or acquaintances that have gone through the programs. One in particular, I won't mention the name because I know that they've, it's a very private story for them, and, without their permission, I'm not going to do that. Right. But went through the program, was completely isolated from their family, was having grave struggles being out in crowds or being at gatherings with more than like 2 or 3 people, and after going through the program and learning those flight or fight responses, and that it wasn't just freaking out, learned tools and mechanisms and stuff like that to be able to work through it and understand it, and then become one with the community again, which is amazing to see. And now this individual is out at a gym regularly.
That's great.
Is engaging with the community, is part of town hall gatherings and stuff like that. And it's really, really heartwarming to see, and drives me even further to do more with what I do with Mission 22.
And empowering, like just the idea of being able to say, before it was like having the difficulty of being able to go to stuff and get that pressure, and then to go out and say, hey, I got a voice, I can use this voice, I can not only I don't have to just do it for the veterans to be starting a business or starting it, because that's the thing is a lot of veterans, and having hired veterans myself, the structure and the ability for them to do things is amazing, and given them a leg up for this structure to be able to start a business or be productive in one way or the other, and just say, hey, I want to do this and I want to do something on the side. It's, we have a ton of them, politicians, business owners, to just making community outreach programs and just giving back to the community. They all seem to feel it. And I think that's something great. Do you want to read the Brian?
Sure. Roar the Tiger says, what each individual brings to a traumatic experience has a profound effect as to how, quote, PTSD may manifest.
And that's one thing. He said PTS. And I talked to somebody at the VA and I said PTS. And because I don't like doing the D at the end anymore, I want to change that.
It's been federally removed.
They got mad at me. They were like, well, you can't just say PTS. You got to say it with the D, because I'm like, I'm going to say PTS. I don't want to say that. I just want to do PTS. That's it. We're just going to. So it's been federally removed. I've now been federally okay and approved. Remove it. So that's it.
when you think of a disorder, it's very different than what I think of when I think of post-traumatic stress.
Right. Well, I have a lot of disorders, so yeah, I can understand that. So, but yeah. So one other thing I want to, this is a big one, and I didn't even think about this before, but I got to ask it. And this is the important. How does somebody become an ambassador? How do they donate to Mission 22? Thank you, Roar. I appreciate it. Keep that under wraps. Don't let people think I'm smart, because if you think people think I'm smart, this could be a problem. They may expect that from me. No. So yeah, how do they become an ambassador? How do you donate to it? How do you become involved in this program? Let's say you don't have time to become an ambassador, but you just want to give your support. How do they do that?
Absolutely. I mean, social media is probably our biggest friend. Word of mouth. Becoming an ambassador is super easy. On our website, we do have under programs or apply. I think it is for ambassador. That's our login. But there's an ambassador.
You just joined the program. Quick,
there you go.
Great.
Our application right now for ambassadors is closed while we transition over to the new website. Sure. But anyone can apply to be an ambassador. I had someone the other day ask me, well, I'm not a veteran. Well, that doesn't matter. You can still, educate people about Mission 22 and veterans issues without being a veteran yourself. We have over 3,800 ambassadors, and nearly half of them are veterans. The rest of them are just, civilian community members that want to make a difference in the lives of others. And as far as, donations and such, it can be done through Facebook. It can be done through our website, or, charitable donations can be made directly to our home office in Sisters, Oregon. And I can certainly provide that address for anybody that wants it.
That's awesome.
I got a really quick question, Shannon. Do you have any type of calendar or event posting?
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Okay. It's probably on the website, correct?
It is on the website right now. It'll probably look pretty blank because everything is getting revamped, transferred over to the new website, and we're anxiously awaiting the new website launch.
When does the new website go up?
I am daily adding new events to that, and
that's great.
I mean, I'm looking at my computer screen here, and I've got well over 150, 200 events that are out there. So they're all over the place.
When's the new website go live?
We are hoping and praying that it will be within the next 2.5 weeks.
That's great.
2.5 weeks. They said that when they were working on my house. Months. But tell me it's not going to be months.
Yeah. It's been long in the making, and it's down to the final tweaks or spelling error and this and that. So it should be really soon.
Isn't that the awfulest time too? Because you go like, you see this,
you're so ready for it.
Man, we got it, and then it's like, and then they keep saying 2 weeks for months on end, and you just no. I think it will be 2.5 weeks. Besides, I'm gonna hold it to you, and I'm gonna bug you.
I know you will.
Well, I've already got. See, hopefully get another ambassador tonight, so I've actually given you more work. So when the 3,801 shows up, awesome. I'm sorry. I was trying to help you out, but I mean, maybe that could be your next assistant. Do you get to have an assistant?
Yeah, I actually do. His name is Jim Bean.
There you go, Jim.
Awesome.
Jim, I want to give a shout out to Jim for
Yes.
everything that he does. And that's the thing is normally I would joke and just say somebody could put up with you, but at working with you, you are nothing but a joy to work with.
Oh,
You
thank
are
you.
somebody that every time I get you make me feel so relaxed and that you know everything. And me, I'm a chaotic mess. So just watching you. I mean, look at this. This area is you come on your first show. I mean, is this your first live stream per thing that you've ever done?
Yes, I am not a fan of being on camera. You know that.
And look at this studio.
We're not either. So
Studio. Oh my God, it looks perfect. It looks like you planned this whole thing out.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just got lucky.
All right. Well, anytime you want to invite me to a Zoom meeting just to see the area there to learn something from your natural ability, I hope.
There you go.
So yeah.
Shannon, before we wrap this, is there anything that you'd like to plug or talk about, or any ending statements that you'd like to give here to the audience this evening?
Yeah, I mean, a couple things is, I mean, like I said before, the War at Home Memorial, that's taking its permanent home in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, and we will be having a dedication ceremony for that on June 11th. Another big event actually happening in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma as well. It will be a powwow. It'll be an intertribal powwow. A lot of the Seminole Nation will be there, as well as I think there's 23 other nations in that area, but they're inviting nations from all over the United States to come join the powwow and raise money. As I'm sure you're very well aware, a very large portion of our United States military are of indigenous culture. So we definitely owe it to them as well, to take care of those that are, living on reservations and who have served our country.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I have dropped the website there. It's mission22.com. Please look forward to the new website that should hopefully be up in the next 2 weeks here.
Yeah.
And I definitely wanted to thank our guest this evening, Shannon Taylor, an ambassador from Mission 22, to take the time and come on here and explain what their foundation does for our American vets here at home. It's such a fantastic organization, and maybe we can have you back in the future here and have you come back on and give us some updates as things move along here.
Yeah, that'd be great. I love it.
I'm already missing you.
I miss you too.
Another 20 minutes. I'm gonna have to have you come down. We'll do breakfast again with the whole family and everything, and talk about
it. We can make that happen.
Exactly. Yeah, we got to. And that's you know what? That's the biggest problem was we had all this pandemic junk that got in the way of everything. We're fully back in the swing of things. You know how this whole thing. We're just super busy on everything. So I am looking forward to actually having a year where we can actually get all this stuff together and look at all this stuff that's getting positive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody wants to, reach out to me, I'm happy to pass along my email address. It's very simple to remember. It's just shannon@mission22.com.
Right.
Any further questions that anybody may have, or if an event that they want to invite us to, they can certainly, shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to talk with them.
Yeah. I've heard, I think we're having a couple that are coming up that are some of the car related stuff too.
Yeah,
so it's so funny that we were doing something with somebody. I want to say it was the 1st of May. And the guy looks over and I was like, well, you got to have a chariot of focus. And he was like, Mission 22, of course. And I was like, of course. Why didn't I think of that? So, yeah. So it's going to be an exciting year.
So Roar the Tiger says, Shannon Taylor, thank you so much. No, thank you, sir. Thank you for serving our country.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for taking part of this chat this evening. So I just want to end before we wrap the stream up here. I just want to let anybody know, and I always say this, if we have any type of conversation like this, if anybody's feeling down, anybody's feeling bad, they need to talk to someone, we're all here for you to talk to. You can reach out to us through our various social media outlets, and maybe we can talk to you and get you some help if you need that, or just a friend to talk to. We're always here for you. So again, I want to thank Shannon for taking this time this evening. Such a fantastic organization that you are involved with, and I am very excited that I get to learn about this evening. And I want to thank everybody that I'll get this word out.
Partook.
His internet isn't plugged in his brain right now. He'll be back.
His first day with the new language.
Yes. in this stream this evening. I really appreciate everybody sticking around and learning about this fantastic organization. So
I do want to ask really quickly though, if Roar on the Tiger there would send me a quick email. I'm interested to know the reasoning behind his profile picture, and I'll tell you a little reason why. My husband actually served with that unit more modern day, which would be the Flying Tigers, which would have been a World War II unit, very well known by Mr. Doolittle himself in the Doolittle Raiders. So I'm interested to know more about whether he just has that profile picture for a reason, or if he may have served with that unit himself.
Oh, that's awesome! Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. So let's make that connection happen.
That'd be great.
20. He said 23.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, the 23rd wing is what my husband served with. So
nice.
I'm looking forward to hearing more from him.
Very, very cool. Shannon, again, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate that. We're going to end the stream now. Thank you again, everybody, for watching this evening. We're going to hit the outro here, and we'll see you guys next time on the next stream. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.